Hey, I know manga. I'm back. Here is the October reading log. I'm just gonna get into it. Before I get into it, actually, should I plug all my shit? Probably not. Fine, I'll do it at the end of the video if you want on my shit. It's in the description below. Yeah, let me just get straight into it. If you don't know, I do the first things. First thing to talk about are the worst. The last thing to talk about are the best. And I read a little bit of horror manga for this month, just because it's, October. You gotta read some Halloween stuff, for fun. I didn't read Soul Eater, sadly. The first thing that is on this list is, it's Doubt. This manga sucks. It's not okay. Let me refrain. It doesn't suck. It's not bad. I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent, good, even maybe good. Yeah, this manga, I read both volumes, and apparently there's also a sequel called Judge. Oh, I have this upside down. I read both volumes, and apparently there's a sequel called Judge. Probably not gonna read it. I might, I don't know. But yeah, Doubt, it's just not very good. None of the characters are compelling. I don't care about anybody. That's really it. The horror is pretty good. The actual horror in it is pretty good. And the plot twist did get me. I do think the plot twist is very good. But God, is it just a slog to get through. And it does suck too, because I did have a lot of faith. I love the the vibe of this. It's very an Among Us, accusatory, who's the killer vibe, which is really, really cool. But it didn't do anything with it, in my opinion, of value. And there's just so many aspects to this manga that I just don't care for at all. I did not like the main character. Thought he was super basic, super generic. Honestly, the biggest problem with this manga is just how generic it is. Didn't feel special to me at all. Was not good. It was good. It was decent, but it wasn't great. Next, I have a manga. Sadly, I had to put this low. I just read other stuff this month that I thought was better. I like this though. I did like it, and I did get paid to read it. Though I'm gonna read more of it. It's Call of the Night, volumes 1 and 2. I'm not gonna talk much about it here, because I have to make a review about it. But yeah. Call of the Night was very good, and that's most about what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on to the next one, because I am gonna make a review about it somewhat soon, whenever I buy the new volumes, or not even the new volumes, the rest of the volumes of 14, I think, or 17 maybe. It's around that number. Oh, excuse me. Next, I got. Wow, this is gonna be a very, very quick video. Greyman, volume 3. This volume was good. This volume was actually pretty good, honestly. I feel the biggest problem with Greyman is they just introduce these characters or these plot points that I don't care for in the slightest at all. It doesn't get me to care about anything, and then around the end of it, when I am starting to get invested, it starts to become incredible, and I absolutely love it, and then it ends. So hopefully that changes more in the future. We get introduced to this girl, or this woman who the day is repeating over and over again, and it's not funny. They play it very comedically. I didn't care about the woman. It's just not super funny in my opinion. And then a lot of interesting stuff starts to happen. It definitely starts getting interesting when our main characters are introduced to the plot, and things start to get interesting, and we have to face this villain who is very, very threatening. I love the dialogue between this villain, who's probably going to come back sooner, and our main character. I love the dialogue between those two. I love this crisis the characters are going through, now learning this new information. There's a lot of stuff about this volume that is going for it, and there's a lot of stuff about this volume in particular that I really, really like, and I like that they're adding to the world, and I could definitely see this expanding over a lot more volumes. But there's also a lot of stuff about this volume that just doesn't hit for me like maybe other people would, or just doesn't hit for me like other series have. And I do think the series just has to kind of abandon this comedic attitude that it has. I get why, especially because at this point in like Shonen Jump, you couldn't get far if you didn't have at least some kind of comedy in it. At least in like publishing, like your series would definitely get axed. But it really just needs to ditch the comedic aspect to it. It is just not very funny and kind of breaks up the pacing a lot. It does not do it justice. After that, I have a volume that I very much liked, and we're getting a lot of development for. The series is definitely progressing a lot, and I am really enjoying it. It is Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. Sorry, I don't remember the title. It's so long. Also, look what happened to my volume. I don't know if you can see. Look what happened to that. I didn't do that. I like bought this on Barnes & Noble. I just didn't notice it until it came out of the. So I took it out of the bag and read it. Yeah, we just got more. It's just your cozy romance series. We got more characters interacting. We got a new character introduced. I really like him. I really like his relationship with like the main boss. The relationship is developing a bit. It does seem like we're getting a bit stagnant in the volumes. If we have a couple more volumes like this one, it's probably going to get worse and the pacing is probably going to drop for me. But I am still enjoying it. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's definitely pretty high for a reason. But I just need a little bit more from the romance at least. If you give me a little bit more, like I do think that maybe in this next volume or the next two volumes, the main character should find out about her secret, because it's like the most obvious thing in the world, and it's lost its charm. It's getting a bit frustrating now that he doesn't know. So yeah, but like the series is still incredible. Like the first volume was definitely the best one. That one was fantastic, and then second and third dropped down a little bit for me. After that, I have a volume, kind of the opposite. The series just keeps getting better and better and better and better. It's Windbreaker, Volume 8. I don't know how the series is this good. Like, genuinely, I am enjoying this so much. I don't have a lot to say just because of how good this volume was. Well, let me say this. One, while this is an action manga, like, where the action is the most important part, we're getting a lot more slice of life elements. Not really slice of life, but more run of the mill. We have to solve this problem, and we solve that problem. It's a lot more interesting, and I enjoy it a lot more than just your basic fighting. Like, just in this volume, I really gotta charge my phone more often. Windbreaker. Yes, Windbreaker. Where was I? Incredible volume. One of my favorite volumes of the series so far. We get introduced to a couple of new characters. We get introduced to this, like, I don't know if trans is the one. I don't really know a lot about stuff like that, but we get introduced to the trans character. She's great. I think her development's actually pretty rushed, though. I wish we got to see it drip-fed kind of over more volumes. I think that's probably the biggest weakness of the volume, is just the pacing of it. I think it's actually a bit too rushed, but we get this great development with this old man. He lost his wife and he feels a bit depressed about it, and we get this great development from him. I really, really liked it. I never thought I'd say this, but Windbreaker actually got me to like retrospect and think about ways that I thought the same feelings he was having. That's always what you want in a series, so props to Windbreaker. And obviously that connects to whatever her name was, her character as well. We also get a little bit more development from Sakura around like the beginning of this volume, completes his main character arc. I wonder what the author has for him moving forward, but like the start of his character arc I thought was fine in the beginning of the series, and him just being like, everybody hates me, so I'm just gonna become the strongest so they can't hate me anymore. It was kind of like I know people are gonna hate me. I can't change that. I can at least make people respect me, or I can at least like having a physical battle, I know that I'm better than them. But now it's actually changing to a people like me, what do I do? Or like a people respect me, how do I reciprocate that? And I really, really like that. And I really love the ending of his arc. It definitely just makes the most sense for his character and for the characters around him too. It gives a lot of closure for them. Yeah, just a great volume overall. I cannot wait for volume 9. God, this series is so good. I genuinely did not think that Windbreaker would be like one of the series that I'm like obsessed. I don't know if you saw that short. I've started making shorts now. I don't know if you saw that short. Like one of the series I am obsessed with right now. Next, sorry, I had to grab the volume because it's like all the way over here. Next, I have a volume that I did not think would be this low, kind of, but it is the first volume. But it is still like incredible, still the same writing, still same everything. It is Blue Lock, episode Nogi. This was very, very good. Blue Lock, episode Nogi, at least of what I'm reading right now, is very good. Yeah, I love this volume. This volume was incredible. Same Blue Lock, same everything. It gave me the same emotions that Blue Lock always does. I think the problem with this volume though, and it's not really with the series itself or like the volume, it's more just Nogi and Reo aren't as compelling characters that Isagi was in Blue Lock. Maybe that changes. I don't know yet, but that probably will as like we get further down the story. But I will say that after reading this volume, it gave me a deeper appreciation for Nogi and Reo. In the main series, I did not really care for either of those characters. Nogi, I mean, I loved his footballing or soccer skills. I like saying soccer, but sometimes football comes out of me. I loved his soccer skills, like him hitting. I still don't get the image out of my head of him hitting a bicycle kick over Team Z. That was insane. You know, I really like Nagi's like soccer skills, and Reo is okay, but they're probably like my two least favorite characters out of like the main cast, sadly. But this volume definitely gave like a lot of insight into their personality, why they care so much for each other, why they're there so much, why Reo got so upset when Nogi left him, why like they're so intertwined, why they're so helpful for one another. It really gave a lot of insight and a lot of context into that I don't think the main story did. So I give props to Blue Lock episode Nogi for that, and it is still incredible. Now that was actually our second series. This is our last series we'll be talking about, and I was too lazy to get the volumes out of the box, but it is this right here. Bleach volumes, I mean all the volumes are in here, but it was volumes 30 through 41. So basically the entire box set, basically. I came out with a Bleach review for a special someone that gave me money, and it was incredible. Bleach was incredible. If you want more of my thoughts on Bleach as a whole, go to that video, but I guess I'll just talk about what I read for Bleach. Genuinely, like some of the best just action shonen manga, like pure action shonen manga I've ever read. There's so many elements to this manga that just propel it so much higher than a lot of different series that a lot of different series don't really do. Not to say like they're like it's other series are bad, but it's just those tiny little things that Bleach does that just makes it so much better. One, it does not like drag out its like plot like at all, in my opinion. When characters are doing something, we know what they're doing, but it's not over-explained, if that makes sense. Also, another thing Bleach does very well is just its swagger and its drip and its just feeling. I don't know if you would call it mood, because that's like more of like a for the setting or for the like tone of a scene, but it's absolute just helps it so much in the grand scheme of what is good. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to express why Bleach is so good or why I enjoy Bleach so much. I'm saying these words, but it doesn't equate to like what actually Bleach means for me. But I will say, at least what I read, I loved. I don't think it was as good as the arc previously, the Soul Society arc. That was like peak stuff. That was like a 10 out of 10 arc in my opinion. And I give 10 out of 10 arcs very rarely. That was like 10 out of 10 stuff. Bleach, a Rancor arc was like as good, if not like a little bit worse. I definitely think the main issue with it is just giving fights to characters that don't really matter. There's a lot of, like in Soul Society, a lot of the captains were cool because we didn't see a lot of them. I didn't need to see like 10 of the captains' powers to know that they were powerful. I know they're powerful. I didn't need to see their powers or for them to showcase their abilities at all. But the author, I feel like just heard how everyone loved these captains and wanted them back. So he had to bring them out, and then he had to introduce all these Espada or these Arancars for like no reason, just to give them fights. And they're so boring, and I don't care for like any of the fights. Like none of the fights are that interesting. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Bleach, and those are the volumes that I read over the month of October. I read 20 volumes in total, I believe. Yeah, next video will be, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Greyman review, probably. Or I genuinely don't know. Yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, put a bicep flexing emoji. Why the fuck not? Just do that. Put that emoji in the comments. If you want my Twitter or my anime list, they're down below. You can go see what I read on my anime list. Also, if you would like any review of a comic, manhwa, or manga, any of those three, actually really of anything. I honestly am open to real books. I mean, those will take like a while because of I read all this, plus I have work, plus I have like an actual life, plus I need to read that book. It'll take me a while, but if you want any of that, all you have to do is leave a super thanks of any amount of money down below, and I'll get it to you as quick as possible. I made a One Piece and a Bleach review. Those are part of that. If you want to go see like what the video would be like, go check out those videos and see if you would like it for your own series that you enjoy. And you can literally give me $2 and I'll do it. All right. See ya. Bye.